Yes, people is arriving. Okay, hello again, everyone. I'm Juan Ruiz from Lean Institute Colombia, and it's great to be here listening to our invited speakers and learning from this amazing experience. So, in this case, I want to introduce you, Maria Fernanda Avellaneda. Maria Fernanda worked as a manufacturing strategy manager of Nestle in Colombia and Ecuador. Maria Fernanda started the lean journey in Nestle many years ago, along with the leadership team. Maria Fernanda is a part of our lean community in Colombia, and she's going to talk about developing leaders on the front line to solve problems. So the audience is yours. Maria Fernanda, welcome. Thank you so much for sharing with us, and thank you for the audience. Go ahead.
Okay, so good afternoon, good evening for some of you. Thank you so much, Juan, for the introduce myself. As you mentioned, I'm here. I'm Maria Fernanda Avellaneda. I'm from Colombia, and really, it's a pleasure to be here, being a part of this global experiment that you are doing as a Lean Global Network. I have been working with all the continuous improvement for many years ago, like 14 years. So I had a really good journey, and I'm going to learn a lot too much for the next coming years. So here a little more about my professional career. I joined Nestle in 2012. Um, as well. Here in this occasion, as you mentioned, Juan, I'm happy to share with you one of my last recent projects that I did, in which I had the opportunity to challenge I challenge myself and challenge the what I'm responsible for in Nestle. So to start to share with you my story is. We started last year with this project around May. So previous to start the project, I come into my mind a lot of questions. One of these are here in this slide. But when I thought about these questions, is because here in Nestle we had our management system is called NCE that is very complete and had a great variety of tools, but sometimes it brings some complexity to the operation. So you have to stop and think uh, everything is working on the way that you want to work. And for that moment, that I was told is okay, we are doing a really good job, but we need something in our management system to improve. I didn't know what in that moment, just I feel it. So I said, okay, when I go to the Gemba or to the factories, we had been working for many years with TPM, and recently we are starting with Lean, but we saw that the people is firefighting with are firefighting with the problems in different levels. I mean, in the shop floor, in the middle management, as well some the factory leadership teams, and sometimes here in the corporate team, we are working on that way. So I say. There's something that we need to do. There's something that we need to work on that. And another important point is here in our ambition as a technical and production team in Colombia and Ecuador, we want that we have autonomous teams that solve problems. That is a really important point that we want to work. So I thought, we really know how we are progressing on that. Probably not, or probably we have of course coming from the focus improvement pillar, a lot of tools to manage this, but how we are going on that, no? So these kind of questions is that I said on that moment, okay, I need to do something, but if I do something, I want that people get convinced of that. So the point was, I don't want that the people do on the factory these, because the manufacturing excellence or the continuous improvement area say that you have to do. People need to get convinced on the change that we are going probably to do. So for that reason is that I started this project that I'm called here for the presentation, creating frontline leaders to solve problems and Nestle Colombia Ecuador. So that was the reason because I did this. So starting with, well, after that, of course, was the first step that I did was, okay, I have to look for help because I didn't know how to resolve my answer. So I had the opportunity to work with the Lean Institute in Colombia on 2019 for the Lean Summit that I participate. So I said, okay, there was a really good elements and a good model that they know, and probably that knowledge could help me to me. So I coming back to them and talk about what is the situation, what is the problem that I need to resolve. So in that moment, we, after different calls and different conversations, we find that the process that we need to do is start with the management lean management, sorry, and the four type of problem training. So we have started on that and working on. Then it's like a hands-on training that was very important. So on that program, we understand and we study about the lean house model as well. We get deep in the management system that I are highlight here in the slide, and that was a really good because they give us a lot of insights. So working on that is that I say, okay, sometimes you need learning to learn, and that's what I put this title on this slide. No, when you don't know the answers, look for help. Look for someone that probably really has the knowledge to understand and to guide you, and that's the role of the sensei. That is one of the really points. So after that we decide, okay, we are going to start. Well, we decide team. No, I mentioned that I want to have a people convince, so I decide to organize a team. Was 13 people coming from different areas. If you see, we had people from HR, people from production area, mainly coordinators and production managers, as well the people coming from the continuous improvement program that we have, the NC coordinators, the industrial performance and industrial performance guy from one of the factories, as well the team that is working with myself. So we bought an interdisciplinary team. That was very, very important, and I appreciate all the work that they are doing, and they are a really nice team. So after that, okay, we are starting the training, we are starting to the hands-on. So what we did during the experiment, so that we have the opportunity to reflect about our management system. And discuss a lot of things, but mainly one of the points that I want to make here and to talk with you is what we learn about this process. So that we did is we made this infogram in which I represent our management system. But when we were learning about the type of problems, so we identified that we had some opportunities for each one of the levels that we have in our current structure. So here is a highlighted in blue line on the left side of this slide, in which we identify that, well, everybody is resolving problems type 1. But also when we saw that probably on the shop floor is not too much, is not too many problems of this kind of type that we are supposed or we are expected that they are resolved. but we didn't measure this, no. So that was like a feeling that we were had in that moment, that we say, okay, probably the operators and technicians need to, or can, sorry, resolve more problems than the another levels on the structure, no. So also what did bring a lot of insights about what is happening with the problems type 3 and type 4. It is expected that the top level management work with that, why we feel that we are not doing too much, and sometimes we feel is that we are handling the problems type 1, no. So that was all our discussions, and we did like a diagnosis for our management system. Okay, that now we decide, okay, we are identifying a more clear problem, so that the next step was, okay, let's go to resolve this.
Muffy,
So
sorry. You can
yeah,
return into the slide, please. I remember that moment when we built and understood the current system was very, very critical and important for us, because is we need to integrate the NCE, the TPM with Lean, with everything. No, it's important that, and I remember that moment.
yeah, of course. Yeah, and I thought that for us, for all the team, this image is very representative, because it's like to say, no, it's a really true moment in which we say, okay, we are finding something here that we have to explore. So
Yeah.
thanks for the comment, Juan. So continue with the project. So we decided, okay, we are going to have the experiment. Was like the first time that probably we used the term of experiment. So at the beginning was a little weird for us, because we say experiment. Why that experiment? But then we understand that we have to test and learn, and that is not bad. Sometimes you need previously to test before to taking decisions. So the point here was, okay, we need to demonstrate, that was our experiment. So we need to demonstrate that if the shop floor solve problems type 1 and type 2, the upper levels will have more available time to do what they must to do. So if we could fix that, everybody is going to do a better work on their work, of course. So for that experiment that we use is go follow the education and training pillar methodology that we have for developed people, that consists in the 70-20-10 principle. So the first point is about train people. So we, for this experiment that we did, we was choose one line per factory. We work on 5 factories, and for each line, we select people, of course, from the shop floor, operators and technicians, then management, medium management people, and the factory leadership teams. And all of them were trained on lean basics and 4 types of problems, in order that they could understand why we are doing this, no? What is the purpose that we are looking for? So after or during the training, because we made here like a hands-on training. So during the training, we also did we run the experiments. So the run the experiments, we need, and we say, okay, we need to introduce the tracking schedule. So the tracking schedule was really fundamental in order to make visible in a big board how is the production attainment program for each hour. Of course, in our lines, so the many of the production lines, you have you follow the production attainment program. But here, the difference that was for us, that making visible for people, no? For the operator, that the operator feel that they are responsible for what is happening every hour, and try to do something, not wait to at the end of the shift, no? So we did that. So we put these boards on the lines, we are training on the operators, and then the leadership team, the middle leadership that we call local leadership teams and the factory leadership team make a coaching, need a coaching sessions during the time, for a time, and we prepare a schedule in which they play a role to be a coach, so try to develop more these skills that we had about the coaching, no? So that was the experiment that we did. So with that we could use the 70% is about experience and 20% the relationship. And other relevant point that we had here that helped to us to improve and to continue learning was that we had the chance that Juan, that is here as a host from the Colombia Lean Institute, came to visit Bugala Grande. That was one of the factories close to the Lean Institute, and so what is going there, no? What is happening there? So it was really good. So that was we did, and the way that we did the experiment. So after that, what we get, no, what was the results? So I'm going to share in some slides what finally we got. So after this process that was like 8 months, starting last year, and this year at the beginning of the year, we continue with the experiment. So at the end, we could have capability. That one is one of the points that we are always keep in mind to work, because develop people, and that the people understand what is the tools, how to use it is very important. So we make this program for 127 people about lean basis and 4 type of problems, people coming from the different factories, and some of them made a lean practitioner, others lean expert, and some complete the lean master program. So other important point here, creating capability, is that we create internal facilitators. So we have currently 8 people that were training and develop the process to be a facilitator with the support of the Lean Institute. So it was really good, because now that we are coming for expansion, so now we know how to do that, and of course that we are going to do better than previously if we don't know how to do that. No, so was one of the first the liberal that we had. Well, the second point that we got as a result is about our management system. So we improve our management system. We did some changes. That the first was for the focus improvement approach. So we have today on this upper on left side slide what is our current model that we used to do for have a problem solving approach. But after the experiment that we are finishing, we say, okay, so there's a fine tuning that we did that was include the 4 types of problem. In previously, to try to resolve, first try to identify what is the kind of problem that you have to do. So with that point here, we are able now to measure what is our level of autonomy in problem solving. Now we can start to measure and say how is improving this on the time. No. The second point definitely was introduce the tracking schedule tool. So we did this with the lean manufacturing pillar. And here the more valuable point is making visible, and it is our tier of the type of problem. So we had here some pictures, the first boards that we used on paper, big paper, but then we changed to a board on the line. At the end, we now have a standardized tracking schedule for the lines, in a big board visible to the people. Probably in some months we are moving to digital, but now is that the way that we are going to move to change. But here the point is how the operators could have more velocity to take action, to take actions and to make decisions in their shift. No, that is the point that we want to improve. So other two things that we had as a result of this experiment was to work on one of the practice that we have here in Nestle about leadership development, that is talk about growth things. So here with this experiment we could finish one initiative that we have been working for some months ago, and is about change management. So we started to prepare change, we call influence and adaptation to change matrix, in order to identify what is the stage of each person on this all complete cultural change that we are living here with NCE, So the experiment gives us the possibility to make more accurate and give some ideas and work on to join and to connect 2 points. This process, the change management process, with the Gemba walk. Our Gemba walks were also reinforced. Here we did we reinforced the role that, as I mentioned, the leaders as a coach. So if we connect this process in which a leader as a people developer with the influence and adaptation to change matrix, of course that we are going to help people to be better on that way, on all these transformations. So that is one of the things that we could connect with this experiment in some of the lines. And the last point that we had a result is about to talk the A3 thinking. So what we did was introduce the A3 format about how to represent our projects or our improvements. So that gives us the opportunity to bring the concept of this kind of not this kind the structure, the mental structure, to think when we are think in how to resolve a problem. What is the thing, what is the mold that I have to take for that? So for that reason is that we put like a frame in our structure of if I focus improvement pillar, excuse me, in order to say that we want that the people, when are thinking about problems, then bring the approach of the A3 thinking. It's not too easy, of course, because we have to train the people, and we have to make all the time try to reinforce and connect and explain and try to be in a sequence, but for us now is going very well, and the people is more comfortable, and sometimes if they don't understand well they are doing, but they are doing that, so it's really good. So that was our results that we had for coming from this experiment. That was really I'm really feel very proud of this work with all the team that we did. So another point that I want to share with you is some comments that came from people from the experiment, some of the leaders of the experiment. So here there are some phrases that I would like to share, and especially here from Elber. He's one of the team members, And he said at the beginning, I believe that there could be more resistance, but accompanying people in the Gemba gave the confidence to learn and unlearn. That was very powerful when he shared this with all the team when we were doing our handshake, of course, of the project, because sometimes we feel scared about changes, no, but just when you decide and you gave first by yourself the opportunity to do that, you could see that it's possible, no?
Yeah.
And the second one is about from our technical and production vice president, Fabio Franza. He support always our project, and he said lean thinking supports our efforts to transform the culture at Nestle Colombia and Ecuador. It provides us with a more holistic view of our work and help us to identify business opportunity for the improvement across the value chain. It's making us all better businessmen and businesswomen. So this is also important because this project is started to give us the opportunity to think more in a lean system. What is working, what we need to do in technical and production area to work with lean. And lean, more than the tools, is more the thinking that we have to take the approach. You know, how to think about what is important for our consumers and our customers. So here another message from the people that
It's a
probably you.
wonderful message. Maybe people can take picture to that wonderful message. Uh,
Yeah.
I take advantage of this moment. Everyone, if you want, put a question in the chat during the presentation of Maria Fernanda. Is good. Okay, Mafe.
Thank you. And well, just to finish my presentation and be on time, uh, some messages that I want that you have in your experience, coming from my experience to share with you, is definitely the first point that I put here. The cultural transformation begins with the leader. That is true. That is not possible to change. If the leader didn't take the leadership of this, it is not working and is not respond. It's not a response. Sorry, is not the continuous improvement people responsible for. Is about the leader. So keep this always. The second is definitely we have to challenge. Sometimes in our process, we have to stop and think and try to challenge ourselves and change and challenge the status quo and try to see what is happening, what we could be better, no? To really live the continuous improvement process, no?
Nice.
And lose our fears of doing different things so much. Building interdisciplinary teams willing to change processes and lead this change will allow achieving more sustainable results than when it is imposed. Definitely, one of the things that I tasted and I experimented and was in that way. Being in the Gemba, I think that is the this always we say, and it's like a drawer phrase, but is that's all another true. You should look for, doesn't say inside or outside, and trust in their guide. No, that is important. When you know, look for someone that knows. So that is
Okay.
the opportunity to say thank you, Juan.
Okay,
And I
Mafi,
think that
great.
is on time.
Wonderful inputs for our lean journey. Okay, we have some questions. We have only 1-2 minutes to answer these questions. I want to start with this question: is what has been the biggest challenge in the implementation of 4 types of problems? From Lesmi Karina.
Okay, thank you, Karina, for your questions. Well, the first challenge, or the biggest challenge, I could say, that was understand these kind of problems, because sometimes we confuse and we are starting, okay, but what is type 1, what is type 2? And we did during the experiment, we have to reinforce the concept. And also when we did the experiment on the line and follow them, is try to guide to the people, okay, if this is a problem type 1, is supposed or is expected that you as an operator or technician could resolve. Previously, to call to your supervisor or your leader for asking for help, no, try to challenge them. So I think that it was one of the points. The second point, just to add to your question, is about make the experiment possible for all the factories, because each factory has their, we sometimes call their own culture, but trying to follow the all that the experiment run in all the factories was a really challenge, and we have some learning from that.
Okay, and the last question: what is the feedback you have received from the frontline workers?
Well, thank you for that, because when we did the experiment, we had the handshake time with them, no? So they say, I love it. I really enjoy it, because again, our leaders will be more close to the line, and so, and that kind of feedback is that you have to think, okay, they are asking for be more with me on the line. And so what was one of the points, and they are so happy, and they sometimes feel like, wow, now you are going to measure my performance with this tracking schedule. So we have to explain, no, it's on that way, that we need to guarantee is in our chip is the best chief, as also we are achieving the result that we are in charge. So we have this kind of comments. I think that one of the points that they also ask for us is, okay, that will be nice, but we need to keep on the time, not just be just for a moment, just keep on the time. For that reason is that now we are using this to expand for other lines, no, just
Wonderful.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Maria Fernanda. Thank you, everyone, for be here. I please continue the next sessions, the parallel session, the main stage. Thank you, Nestle, and thank you to your team, Maria Fernanda, the all factories that was involved in this work. Really, we like institute learn every time with yours. Thank you so much, and thank you, everybody. Everyone, bye bye.
Thank you, have a
Bye bye.
nice.
Maybe you can answer the question to Augusto Fonseca, Daniel Useche in the linking. I have the question here
Okay,
to you send a message, please.
okay,
Thank you. Bye
perfect.
bye.
I
Bye
will
bye,
be
Stephen.
it's a pleasure. Okay, great,
Okay,
I will do
nice.
that.
Bye bye.
Bye.